Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Christopher with Plan Your Truth, and in today's video we are doing a full flip through of my completed December Daily album from last year. So this is 2023, the holiday season. All of my memory keeping lived in this album. I recently finished it and I'm really excited to share this with you as everybody's getting really excited for this upcoming December Daily. So first off, I should say, don't mind my voice. I'm getting over a little cold after Chicago Planner Conference, so we're a little bit congested, so don't mind that. But if you are brand new to December Daily, I have a full playlist on my YouTube channel doing some different pages. I did a flip through of where I was like a month or two ago, and I talk a little bit more about what this is. But basically, it started by Ali Edwards, and how I treat this is just my way to memory keep the holiday season. So even though it's called December Daily, there's stuff in here that happened in November, etc. So I'm really excited to share this with you, and maybe you can get some inspiration for some pages or some memory keeping spreads of your own this holiday season. So I used the 10 by 8 album from Ali Edwards last year. I love this pattern. I think it's so beautiful. I didn't do anything on the inside cover. Some people do, but at least with this album, I kept it pretty straightforward. The thing that I think is really cool about this album is I play with things that I don't usually play with in my planner. I like three-dimensional elements, like this opening page. I'm going to pull it out so you can kind of see. I made a shaker pocket. Do you see on the right here? This is like a little shaker pocket, and you see it's not great. Every time I shake it, it seems like things are falling out. But you know what? This was my first time trying to do that, so I really enjoyed it. I did, in this one on the left here, I think it was like a reasons why, but it's a little pull out, and on the back I journaled a little bit about what I want out of this, the purpose of doing this project this year. So I really like, as you see me flip through, you'll see some elements that I don't usually play with, and that was really fun to kind of just get crafty. I'm a beginner at all of this, so there's people that will do way more crafty things than me, but I'm really proud of what I put together in this album. So on the left here, I just printed out a huge photo of my family and did this little December Joys die cut. Honestly, I just needed something simple before I got to the table of contents. In theory, maybe if I went back in time, I would just put the table of contents starting over here, but I was like, why not just throw in a big paper there? I really love how my table of contents turned out. So I used, most of the products you see are going to be from Ali Edwards' shop. I purchased a lot from her last year. And I used her little circle things here that had a number on there. And so I liked the idea of having a table of contents, so if I don't have time or didn't want to sift through the whole thing, I could see, oh, my gingerbread houses is 15, so that'll be about halfway through in the album, and it just kind of tells a story of its own, to be honest. I continued the table of contents on the back, so you'll see the star matches up on the top, because it kind of sticks out a little bit there. I think I'm going to zoom you in a little bit more so we can really just focus on one story at a time. Yeah, so we'll focus now. Yeah, I like that better. So when I had put this album together last year, I had intended to do 31 stories, which is why you will see enough circles here to take me through 31. Since I ended up doing this album after the fact, which most people do, most people don't finish it in December for that year, I kind of ran out of stories, and I was like, you know what, we're done. Like, I feel good with 25 stories in here. That's what some people do anyway. You could choose to do 24, 25, 31, whatever you want. You could do 10 stories if you want. There are no rules. So I ended up just kind of putting a little sticker in those boxes to finish the tree. All right, so story number 1 here is just a very simple letter to myself. So I used one of these die cuts from Ali Edwards. I liked using like the 3D little puffer stars and things, and some different, three-dimensional chipboard things. So on the front, I just have the label, a letter to myself, and on the back is actually that letter, Dear Christopher. Honestly, it was sloppier than I wanted, and I just played with it. I went into it. I covered up some of the sloppy bits with stars, and I just, kind of made it look like I did that on purpose. Okay, story number 2 is about December Daily Prep Day. So for before each season begins, there is a prep day where lots of people come together online in Zooms and things like that. I do apologize for the glare, because these are all plastic sleeves, so you're going to see a little glare, but I'll try and be good about moving the page. But we did a prep day, and I did it on Zoom with my 2 friends that I was doing it with. So this is Katie with Fake It Till You Make It, and Marielle with Mom and a Girl with Plans. And we were on a Zoom together, and we crafted together. So a couple of the pieces you'll see in this album actually show, or I made on that day. So this is an example of something that happened in November, but it still, made sense to tell the story of my holiday season. So some photos, some stars, lots of things here. On the back, we're telling the story of number 3. And so this is a story that I do kind of, like, it's multiple pages, right? Yeah, like this is all story number 3. So starting over here, I do have a little flip up here, which is something else I played with. So basically, I just put lots of these, what size would this be? 6x4 cards. And so it looks, completed like this, but I needed a place for some journaling. So I did a flip up card and do some journaling about this story there. And so this is the story about decorating my apartment with Sarah. This is something else that happened in November, but again, it really tells the story of this time of year. Oh, I love this. We actually just decorated for this year, so I'm like, wait, did I put this out? But anyway, so this is kind of the beginning of that story. And then I continue and carry it over. I loved this too. I didn't know what to put on the back of this little die cut flip out. And so I thought it was fun to play with some of my washi tapes just to cover up the white. But then I also did a picture of my Disney tree. So this is kind of the first year. I have always had a goal of having a Christmas tree that was just like Disney and Harry Potter, like everything magical. And so this was the first year that I actually kind of started to see that come together. I have some filler ornaments and some filler things, but I was excited to finally be like, oh my gosh, I actually do have a lot of Disney ornaments. So we're off to a good start in building this Disney tree. It's not there yet, but it's a good start. This is one of my favorite stories, and honestly, very simple. So this is story number 4, and I have no journaling on this. I literally just have pictures of lots of the different holiday movies that I love to watch each year, and they're cut into these little squares, and I just think, let me see if I can tilt it this way so you can kind of see that. I just love how it came out, and some of the empty squares, I just kind of put some pattern paper and some stars and things like that. So I really enjoy how this one came together. On the back here, this is story number 5, and I don't actually have a number because I thought that this kind of told that story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just talked about 5 things that I look forward to during the holiday seasons, which for me is all of the traditions, the decorations, music and movies, food, and family and friends. So I kind of journal a little bit about that on this side, and then I just have some photos, again, of my apartment with the Christmas decorations and the Christmas movies and stuff like that to kick off the season. Okay, this is another one I really enjoyed making. This was a really crafty project. This is actually a page I made during that prep day in December. I didn't have all the photos yet, but I made this outline. So I made all of this. I actually have one that I'm saving to do something for this year. These little circles are made out of Starbucks holiday cups. I took a circle punch. I think I had a couple different sizes, and what I ended up doing is I actually cut this so that it was like a flat piece, and I just circle punched and have them be the border. And then this is this. So I think I had 3 cups. So I took this and put one there and one there to make a cute little border. And then I do just a little bit of, journaling on this page, but really this is just the story of how Red Cup Day and the Starbucks holiday drinks and the holiday cups are kind of a big part of the season for me. I'm trying this year in 2024 to not spend as much money on Starbucks though, so I don't know, maybe I won't tell that story this year. All right, so this page. So if you look at it, I mean, you can kind of see that photos are peeking behind there. Like I said, I'm still new at this whole crafty thing. But this is story number 7, and it tells the story about ornaments. So this pattern paper looked just like this. All of these were just plain like ornament shapes. And how I started it was by doing, like, pretend this is white back here. I just did these little, are they called brads, I think? And I just put these ornament pieces right over and they all swing open. And then, after the fact, I printed out photos. So you can see this is the ornament. Each year, my parents give us a new ornament. And so this is kind of telling that story of us decorating the tree. This is the ornament that we all received this year. And then a little picture of me actually putting an ornament on my parents' tree. So how fun is this? I really love this idea of having, like, it looks just like a simple page, but then you flip something over and it makes it very crafty. So I really loved putting this together. Okay, now we're getting into my Disney trip. So this is story number, I'm like, am I missing one? No, I guess this is story number 8. So we start by just kind of telling the generics of my trip. So where I was staying, I got to meet actually with one of my Patreon members and friend Allie, so she made it in here, and just kind of telling a little bit of the story of of my trip. I would love to go back and actually memory keep this whole trip. I couldn't include all of the photos. I had to pick and choose what stories I wanted to tell. So I talked about meeting Allie, my hotel, festival of the holidays, and this meeting Minnie situation. Oh, you guys, it was so magical. But then we have another shaker pocket here. So how cute are these? I don't know if you can tell, but there are little Mickey heads in here. I bought little like glitter and beads that were Mickey heads. So there's peppermints and then red and white like little Mickey heads. And so you can't fully tell because I have this big 8 like covering it up, but like we have a little shaker pocket there. Okay, and I don't know if you can tell, but this is kind of like half of a Mickey head, right? Do you see that? Already, are you ready for the whole thing? Dun, 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 dun. This is another thing I made during prep day. I loved putting this together. I thought this was so stinking fun to have a Mickey head in this album. So I made it. Allie had these little circle die cuts, and then I added like the wreaths onto it to make the ears. And so inside of this Mickey head, I tell the story of story number 9, which is all of the parties. Now you can see, let me make sure before I lie to you. Yes, there's no actual journaling. So this one I decided that the stories are told right through the photos. This is a really special moment. I met these two. I think they had recently gotten engaged, and I met them at my hotel lobby bar, and they kind of adopted me this trip because I was there alone, and they were happening to go to this Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party the same day I was. So they invited me to just go with them. We had such a magical time together. And now, in 2025, they are getting married at Disney World and invited me to the wedding. Are you kidding me? Like, what a magical story. And I didn't have to write any of that. I just needed the photo to kind of kickstart my memory and be able to tell that story. So we talk all about, or we see photos from Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights. This was you guys, this was a magical trip and a real turning point in my life. You'll hear more about that in 2025 with really exciting things I have coming up. But this trip, I'm so happy I have it documented as a part of this December daily. Okay, story number 10, we talk about the theater. So theater is a big part of my life, but it's always a big part of our holidays. So this is the first page. I actually designed this in Canva. So I used images from Canva and I did text all in Canva. So really the only stickers are the 10 and the stars that I have on here. Everything else is digital. So this is kind of telling the story about how theater is a big part of our holidays, and I have some different photos of the different shows that I saw over the holiday season. This is actually a picture. We saw this show in January. So why does it belong in my December Daily album? Well, we got tickets for it for Christmas. So again, there's no rules. It doesn't just have to happen in December. I could even include a picture in this year's album of like a Christmas in July thing that I did, you know? Anything that has to do with the holidays, in my opinion, lives in this album. So I'm excited I got to tell that story. This is another one, and I was nervous about doing Canva spreads. Let me back you up now so that I can lift this up better, because I think that's a better view for you when I hold it up. I was nervous about doing Canva spreads because it's not really crafty, but I think that this is beautiful. I got to incorporate lots of different photos. Some of them, you'll actually have seen these photos already in that other spot, but it also made sense with this story. So this was the story about decking the halls and decorating at my mom's house, whereas that other one was just specifically about the ornaments. So this story talks about the food and the traditions that we have in terms of decorating at my mom's house, which I'm still a part of, which is always so magical. Story number 12. This is Thanksgiving. Some people, Thanksgiving is not a part of the Christmas season, so don't include it in your album if you don't want to. But for me, Thanksgiving is a huge part of the holiday season, and we're always already decorated for Christmas for Thanksgiving dinner. So I included a little bit about that in story number 12. Okay, story number 13. Bah Humbug. I actually made this in Canva with some different elements from Ali Edwards. So every year there's moments where you're feeling a little bit bah humbug. You're feeling the pace of the holidays. I was working a lot, which is why I included this photo. This was at my job. I was at work a lot, busy with work, and I just did a little bit of journaling about that. And I thought this sentiment was perfect for this story. Just kind of journaling a little bit about the chaos of the holiday season. Story number 14 is another one I designed in Canva. And my Aunt Carol came and we did a whole family thing at the Nome countryside. This is something I did as a child and I hadn't done it in like 15 years. So it was really cool to kind of revisit that place and revisit that tradition as an adult. So I wanted to make sure to include that in my album this year. Okay, another one that I did on Canva. So this is, like I said, I was a little nervous about doing the Canva things because this is not crafty at all. There's no stickers on it other than this. And the reason I love December Daily and want to continue doing it is to be crafty. However, it helped me do this project a little quicker. These were pages I didn't have to spend, an hour making at my desk. I could do while at work or had extra time on my computer. And I think it's fun to mix the scrappy, crafty with the digital. So I think it works for me. You'll have to let me know your opinion on that. But like I said, no right or wrong. This worked for me in this season of life. Each year we do a gingerbread house competition. And so we did a little bit of storytelling about that tradition and photos from that event. Story number 16 is a smaller page, which I did like mixing in, so we had some different page layouts. So this one is all about wrapping. So I did lots of wrapping and kind of told that story about wrapping everybody's presents and some different things that I bought for people this holiday season. Story number 17 is unique. I will probably never include a story like this in a December Daily album again, but one thing I was working on a lot this holiday season was building my logo for Plan Your Truth. I had hired somebody to build my logo, and so I kind of wanted to share that journey a little bit, and I showed some of the different pictures and phases that we had gone through to end up with the logo that you guys see today. So I wanted to include that, even though it's not a traditional holiday thing, but I found lots of things with blue to kind of tie that all in together. Story number 18. So this one is talking all about my planner lineup and my goals for the new year. I don't know about you, but that's a huge part of my December, is filming videos about my goals and my planner lineup and building a Franken planner and a custom planner for the new year and thinking about what I want my year to look like. Manifesting, vision boards, things like that. So I was really excited to talk about that in my album, as that was a big part of my December and the holiday season for me. Okay. Story number 19, Around the Tree. So this is telling the story of Christmas Eve at my mom's house. This was also my first time. You'll see it, I think, in the next couple stories too. But I was trying to mat my photos because I don't usually do that. I had used, you'll see a mix in this album of doing things like this, where this is a page protector, where you just cut out the photos or the things in the size that is given to you. These are, 4 page protector slots. Very easy. But this was just a full page that I could do whatever I wanted with. So I liked playing with those 2 different variations for this project. So talked a little bit about, Christmas Eve, our traditions, and some photos of what that night looked like at our house. Just wanted to add this. I thought it was really pretty. So we just are adding this here in between story 19 and 20. Just a little vellum sheet. Okay, so this, if you have children watching, maybe skip forward like a minute, okay? If there's any children watching, skip forward a minute. I won't spoil the magic, but just, maybe skip a little bit. This is the story of prepping for Santa Claus. It's kind of a rite of passage in my house and in my family to be a part of that, be Santa's little helper. He still has lots of work to do himself. We're not doing everything, but we are, we're Santa's little helpers. And so I included some photos of that night, of Christmas Eve night, us all getting ready. It's kind of funny because this is who lives in the house. These 2 are the only people that live in my parents' house now. You'll see my mom's not in this photo. She goes to bed. She is not Santa's little helper. She's long in bed. It was just me and my dad for many years. Then my sister Erin Mary joined prepping for Santa. And now, even though we don't have any little kids, we still prep for Santa, even though we're all older. This is another example. I did a little flip up. So this is the photo of Santa's cookies. This is actually at my sister's house. She did, if you will, she caught a photograph of Santa's boot on their fireplace little bench. And then this is Erin Mary, my sister, putting out carrots for the reindeer. We don't forget about the reindeer as well. So it is a very special story, and I really was excited to share that. Okay, if you have kids, we're good now. I think I still kept the magic alive, because I believe in Santa Claus, without a doubt. Santa is real. Anyone that tells you differently is lying to your face. I believe in the magic of Christmas. I love it. So magical. Okay, story number 21. This is Christmas morning. So this is all of the Santa piles for all of us. How Santa does it for us, I know everybody, he does something different for everybody, but we kind of have gone down to 3 presents per child. And so this is Erin Mary, Michaela, and we also had Mackenzie, who is my niece. So she also came over and had Santa at our house. So this is all 3 of their snowmen. Which 3 presents, 3 pieces of a snowman. So that's kind of how Santa preps it. But you better believe inside this one box, oh, look, there's 3 presents here. No, inside that box, there may be a couple wrapped gifts. You know what I mean? We can't always keep it to 3. Another flip up here. Nope, I'm lying to your face. There is no flip up there. It just needs to be taped down better. But this is telling that story of Santa in the morning and all of the presents. Story number 22. Oh, we are back to a little page protector here. So this is, we go to my sister Shannon's house on Christmas morning after we do presents, and we do Santa pancakes, but I did a little Mickey Santa pancake this year, which was really fun. You'll notice that we are in matching pajamas, and you actually see... Is this the photo you see in the front too? Yeah, I literally used the same photo in the front because this is always my favorite photo every holiday season. We all get matching pajamas. That is our gift from our parents every year. The rest of the gifts still to this day come from Santa Claus. the gift that my parents get for us are matching pajamas, and every year, this is like on the steps waiting to go down to see the Santa presents, and then we even, after we go to Shannon's with her kids, we get photos there as well. So that's kind of telling that story. And this is an example of a story that I will tell in every year's album. It'll just be the updated photos and maybe updated journaling about, how I'm feeling about that tradition this year or whatever. So I love that. I love that a story can kind of evolve through the years. So I'm excited to keep doing this project. But anyway, we're almost there. Story number 25, we went to the movies as a family on Christmas Day to see the new movie Wish. So that was really fun. It was a cute movie. It's not one that I watch. I don't think I've even watched it again since this. But it was cute. It was fun to do that and see the movie theater all decorated for Christmas. And story number 25, our final one, and to all a good night. This was also one designed and printed from Canva, and this is about Christmas Mass. So this is another family photo we get every year where we all go to Mass together to celebrate the Christmas season. We actually did this on Christmas Eve, but I thought it would be a perfect way to end the album, to talk about, the meaning of the season or the reason for the season and this tradition that's honestly probably the most important to my family. So that is it, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That this is done. Look at all these glitter. You guys, I need a goal for 2025 is to get better at glitter shaker pockets. So we're losing steam here every time I shake it. But oh look, yeah, here it's coming out right here. It's okay. It's part of the fun, right? But anyway, this is my album for 2023. I hope that you enjoyed the flip through and maybe got inspired. I'm really excited. I'm still doing this project here in 2024. So I'm actually doing a different size though. I'll show you. I don't have anything created yet, but I'm doing a smaller album. I'm doing the 6x8 album instead of the 6x10. So I think that'll be fun to experiment with different size pages and things like that. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to see future, plan with me's in this and memory keeping and of course a flip through probably next year. Let's be honest. It took me like the whole year because I feel like once January comes around, I was over Christmas, so I didn't do too much in this album. But then once October came around, I was like, ooh, I'm ready for Christmas again. Let's dive back in. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below and if you are participating this year. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos, you can hit that subscribe button. And remember to plan your truth so that you can live your truth. Thanks so much.